for a 65-yard field goal, and then the Gruden just says, no, we're just going to take the knee. Then what the hell were you lining up for with that less time?
Yep.
You could have at least had 2 plays called in the huddle that took no more than 10 seconds. 2.
Yep. And folks, in case you're just joining us, this is the Gridiron Power Hour After Hours. And the title of this one is called Shit Happens.
Oh, no. This ain't a crap happens. No.
I said shit happens.
This podcast ain't no ish happens. This podcast is a what the hell?
Yeah.
Yes, Marcus Mariota, I'm talking and pointing my finger at you.
Mm-hmm.
Twit.
Even though he put up a valiant effort and got praise from his former teammates.
No.
Yep.
I can only give you a valiant effort if you find a way to finish the game.
Yep.
He didn't do that.
And right now, the Conference USA Championship game is almost at an end.
Wait. I thought they canceled that game.
No. The game is tonight. The game is right now.
Alrighty. Let me look at this.
It's UAB versus Marshall, and Marshall's down by 9. With 2:17 left in the fourth quarter.
Well, the best they'll probably do is probably go... The winner will probably go to the New Orleans Bowl, because Memphis was in CUSA for a while, and that's the biggest bowl they got to.
Yep.
Or the
and now they're at a 2-minute warning, and Marshall needs to do something, otherwise they can kiss this one goodbye, and UAB wins the championship.
So UAB's leading by 9.
Yes.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Even if Marshall scores a touchdown on an extra point, they still won't have enough time. The only way they'd have enough time is if they score quick, get the onside kick field goal. They'd score 10 points in about a minute, and I don't see that happen. Marshall's kind of come undone the last 3 weeks.
Yep, after they got shut out by Rice 20-0.
After that Middle Tennessee game, they kind of fell apart.
And good news for you Saints fans, Drew Brees is coming in. And now remember, Drew Brees ain't been seen in the last 3 weeks. And the Lions QB Matt Stafford is questionable for this Sunday's game against the Titans.
At this point, if I'm Matthew Stafford, I don't even bother even taking a snap this week.
He's questionable.
If I'm Matt Stafford at the end of the season, I'm finding my way out.
Yep.
Because Detroit, the real another truth about it, they ain't going nowhere. And speaking of questionable to out, while the Saints get one player, they lose another. As earlier this afternoon, Michael Thomas, Drew Brees' favorite wide receiving target, will not be available this week.
Yep.
For the Chiefs game. So they get one player back, but lose another of importance.
Yep. Now, Buffalo's got 2 scenarios. In order for them to clinch the AFC East, they gotta win. Or Pittsburgh's gotta lose. Or if Baltimore loses.
Well, let's see. I don't see Baltimore losing to Jacksonville, so we can scratch that. Let me look at Pittsburgh. When do the Pittsburgh Steelers play again?
I have no clue, because there's 2 games.
And I don't see, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, they're not going to get that Steelers loss either. Mm-mm. So the only way the Bills clinch the AFC East is they got to win.
They got to win.
That's all. And let's see, Buffalo will get... When do the Buffalo Bills play again?
They're playing tomorrow.
And I think the AFC East could be clinched tomorrow.
Yep.
Because beat Denver and the division's over.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't matter what the Dolphins or the Patriots do.
Yep.
But now with the Raiders losing, I think that still keeps New England relatively in playoff contention.
Yep. Baltimore's got Jacksonville on Sunday. There's 2 different games tomorrow.
Yep.
And a week before Christmas.
One is already going to be of non-importance. That would be Denver-Buffalo. Mm-hmm. Because all Buffalo's got to do is win. Green Bay, looking to keep the number 1 seed because with 3 games left, Green Bay, as long as they keep winning, they will have the number 1 seed and the only bye.
Yep.
For the
it looks like Crosby, Galladay, and Hen are out for Detroit.
They're screwed.
Matt Stafford's questionable because of his rib and thumb. The Titans got a berth. Here's the thing: the Titans clinched the playoff berth with a win, and Baltimore has to lose. So Jacksonville's got to do their job.
Well, I don't think Jacksonville. Well, keep in mind, Jacksonville ain't gonna do their job. Jacksonville's already 1-12.
Yep, and it don't seem to matter with them.
No. And the Bengals and the Steelers are not losing to the Bengals because guess what? They already had the AFC North already wrapped up. They're just fighting for seeding.
Yep.
They're still fighting for a number 1 seed, which is still in their grasp if they keep handling their business. Even though the Titans and the Colts are the tie for the top seed in the AFC South. The only way the Titans will clinch it is if they win, and they have to have some help from Jacksonville. And I do not see that one happening. Now, however, they could probably get some bigger help from Houston if Indy loses, but I don't see that one happening either. So,
Deshaun Watson versus Phillip Rivers.
Tennessee's got to handle their business for the next 3 weeks. And this week is our last home game. They're on the road at Green Bay after Christmas.
Yep.
They're on the road at Green Bay on the 27th.
And against Houston in January.
On January 3rd. 2 days after New Year's.
Yep.
So basically, the Texans seem like to be their last game almost the last 3 years. Or close to it.
Yep. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, UAB will clinch this one and win the CUSA championship.
For the 3rd time in 4 years.
By beating Marshall by 9 points.
Well, I'll put it this way. You could tell when Marshall the collapse was coming.
So that's the end of Marshall's playoff run. The CUSA championship game is over. UAB beats Marshall 22-13. They're this year's Conference USA champions.
And this is their 3rd championship in the last 4 years.
Yep.
Under Bill Clark, by the way.
Yep.
UAB is coming on. And speaking of Clarks, welcome home. Not yet, but close. Mm-hmm. Welcome home, Clark Lee.
Mm-hmm. And in Vanderbilt news, since the Vanderbilt put the end to their run, it also means the end of Sarah Fuller's run as a Vanderbilt kicker. And her last year as a Vanderbilt Commodore. She's went to another college somewhere else.
Well, yeah, she can. Well, she keep in mind, they give you the waiver, and if you want to transfer, you can.
Yep.
Because they gave all the players that didn't get a chance to play in 2019. They gave them the extra. They gave them the waiver for the extra year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I could see a lot of those seniors going different places to play immediately. Yep. And Sarah Fuller has won the SEC Tournament Championship twice as a goalkeeper.
In soccer.
I want to see when
Pittsburgh will clinch the AFC North if they win or if Cleveland loses.
They don't have their coach yet.
No.
Because Clark Lee still has another game at Notre Dame, possibly 3.
Yep. And he's facing off against Brian Kelly, the brother of Chip Kelly.
What about Chip Kelly? What?
He's facing off against his brother, the head coach of Notre Dame.
Yeah, Brian Kelly. Oh, yeah.
Yep. And now I found out the name of the coaching candidate for Houston's head coaching job. It's a familiar last name that many of you people know. It's Marty Schottenheimer's son, Brandon Schottenheimer.
Brian Schottenheimer, who was the offensive coordinator currently at the Seattle Seahawks.
Yep. For the head coaching candidacy for Houston.
Did Dana Holderson decide to quit, or is he going somewhere else?
We don't know.
Because I was hearing Dana Holderson last week say that they were thinking about trying to schedule Baylor on their schedule.
Yep.
I don't know if that game ever got quantified or accepted yet or not.
And the Pac-12 championship is going on too.
Oregon, who replaced Washington, by the way, because Washington had COVID issues.
Yep.
And Oregon,
the Oregon Ducks is playing against the USC Trojans. It's the Pac-12 championships.
And right now, in the third quarter of the Pac-12 championship game, Oregon still leads by 2 touchdowns. They were 14-0, and now it's 28-14.
Yep.
And another date, most likely, with the Rose Bowl, maybe, depending on what the government in California, capitalism, and others decide to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard yesterday, this morning actually, they were trying to allow family and friends and parents of the respective teams to be allowed at the college football playoff game that is being held at the Rose Bowl. And so far, government has not allowed it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a contract.
Yep.
Let's back up to Tuesday a little bit. With the playoff ranking, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that everybody was annoyed with, and I kind of don't disagree. In past years of this playoff committee, if you are sitting in a playoff position and you lose to a below-average football team, you basically go from into the playoffs to most likely out.
Yep.
This incarnation and Machiavellian process of this, they only dropped Florida 1 spot.
Yep.
From 5th to 6th.
Actually, Florida's in 7th.
7th?
They lost to LSU last week.
Yeah, but in the playoff, look at the playoff poll. They only dropped them 1 spot.
Yep. And they're facing off against the undefeated Alabama Crimson Tide tomorrow.
I mean, I can see Florida giving Alabama a game, but do I see them winning it? No. I mean, we've said that about every team this year. Mm-hmm. They'll give them a game for like a quarter. Or if you're really bad, they'll just destroy you in the first 2 quarters and then just take the foot off the gas in the second half.
Yep. And also remember, folks, from last week's podcast about consequences and repercussions, I have a little update for you about the South Texas high school football player. And the punishment is as follows. Emmanuel Duran is banned from any and every interscholastic extracurricular activities for the remainder of his entire senior year. Which means also any college recruiter that was there at the December 3rd game are rescinding their offers to him. Which means if he's also on the high school wrestling team, he would not get to wrestle at all. They also passed down judgment on his coach. His coach is going to be placed on a 2-year probation. His assistant coach is going to be the interim head coach for 2 years.
This would be a good Twitter poll, because now with the new version of Twitter, you can actually create poll questions.
Mm-hmm. And those for you who are now watching the Oregon Ducks take on the USC Trojans, the Ducks is leading by the score of double digits, 28-14 in the third quarter. And USC's undefeated streak is on the line.
Well, I'll put it this way. Hold on a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Who's calling? what's all this? It's stuff.
Yep. And then most of you who didn't get to see it yet, USC had called their first time out, and they're at the 5-yard line in Oregon territory.
5. Whose ball? Trojans or Ducks?
Trojans.
They always do this.
Yep.
They're slow in the first half, and they pick it up in the second half.
Yep.
Always. Ain't failed yet.
Yep.
Literally has not failed yet.
Yep. And you know the old adage, what can go wrong will go wrong.
Pretty much.
And tomorrow at noon is the Big Ten Championship between Ohio State and Northwestern.
Ohio State, 11 o'clock.
Yep.
They get the crap out of the way first.
Yep.
And they save the good stuff for 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Which will be the Florida-Alabama game.
The game that everybody wants to see. The SEC Championship game.
Yep. Yep. And there's a reason why USC called the timeout. They had 5 additional people on the field.
Ooh.
That were a little bit off center.
Yeah, too many men on the field.
Yep. And now they got it corrected, and it's 2nd and goal.
Now.
Oh, and he overthrew.
Ooh.
Wide
open and missed him? Yes. Wide open and missed him? Yes.
Overthrew it when they knew there was no receiver open? Yes. And that would have been a holding call if the ball wasn't already let go. So Oregon managed to get away with that one. And he was pulling on the jersey.
Oh, yeah, because the ball was uncatchable.
USC is 3 for 9 on 3rd down conversions tonight. Their season high of 45%, and it was incomplete. He didn't come down with it.
Nope. 1 foot out.
No, there's allowed to have 1 foot out. It's college rules. 1 foot's got to be in bounds. He just didn't come down with it. The ball hit the turf.
Now they're probably going to settle for a field goal to cut it back to 11. Or does Coach Helton want to go? Speaking of...
He didn't have possession of the ball.
Helton, former the Tiger offensive coordinator.
Oh, they're going for the 21-yard field goal attempt.
Chip shot.
Which cuts the lead down to 11.
If he doesn't make this, they don't deserve to win. It's that simple.
With 2:28 left in the third, the Ducks is now behind by 11 points.
Well, you mean the Trojans are behind?
Oh yeah, the Trojans are. The Ducks is still in the lead, 28-17.
With the football.
Mm-hmm.
After the Southern Cal kickoff.
And like my colleague said, this one is going to be entitled "What the Hell."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, like he says, it makes you question what the hell.
What are these incompetent idiots thinking? Or not thinking?
As the case may be. In 1 minute, they were getting rid of the Indian name. Next thing you know, they changed their mind. They say they're keeping it. What the hell? Make up your mind. You're either going to drop the Indian name or you're going to keep it. You can't wish-wash and you can't flip-flop. It's going to make a lot of people angry.
What are you going to do? You can't have it both ways. You are or you're not. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, folks. This is not amateur hour.
And folks, this is one good reason why we don't talk. We talk about anything but politics on this podcast. Because if we go into politics, we both are going to be very, very angry.
Not only that, I'm kind of not in the mood for it during the Christmas season. Like, I would like to kind of forget it as we leave 2020 and head to a new year, and hopefully the new year will actually bring us some good news instead of this the exponential purgatory of stupidity that we have kept seeing again and again and again.
Yep. Which is why the hashtag trending fuck 2020 is a reason why.
Look,
2020
hasn't gone viral by now. It should be.
2020 is a piece of crap.
On every social media platform, ever.
Mm-hmm.
On every social media platform, ever. And I think we will not do any Christmas Eve or Christmas Day pod. If you do,
I'm getting it anyway.
You might have to go solo.
Sure. I don't need to
Actually,
I'm not really the last one to ate.
I have nothing better to do anyway.
Yep.
So if we're taking Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, that means you're back, what, either the 26th, the 27th?
Mm-hmm.
Or we're going to take the whole 2 weeks off and not come back to the first of the year when we start Nightmare Files inside Nightmares Football.
Yes.
As we start counting it to hopefully the season.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
It's your choice, not mine.
All right. Because for so you folks who's going to turn in tomorrow, one of my special guests will be the New Orleans Hippies football team because it's going to be a very special tribute show to one of their players.
And besides the tribute show, we may get an inside preview. I actually like this. I like to see if we can get some previews of the teams that are in this league that we're going to either be playing or could see.
Yeah.
And now the owners' meeting is what, this Saturday?
Yep, it'll be tomorrow.
Have they scheduled a time?
Try to figure that out now.
Weren't they supposed to have it at 3 o'clock?
Yeah, because if that was the case, and if Sean Smith, the head honcho himself,
he got sick and got caught with corona.
Mm-hmm.
Not the good kind either.
Really, really crappy. Well, hence why the hashtag fuck 2020.
Even though
and Viola W said best, can we get a do-over of this year already? It's just too much, but we can't get a do-over. We can go back. If we had a time machine, we will go back to the 2016 election, make sure this Goomba, oh my God, we need to, let's go to another direction, please. Before I lose all sanity and go to a laced, profane-filled tirade about what the hell went wrong. And it's a sack on USC. 4th down. And that was Thibodeau. That was Thibodeau of Oregon coming up with the sack. Number 5.
Wait, I think that's Thibodeau for UFC. Unless
no, Thibodeau for Oregon.
Unless Oregon had to punt.
Nope. USC did an onside kick.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of good that did them.
Fourth quarter and they got it back.
And a lot good that did them. It's still the 3rd quarter. And a lot good that did USC. Now they got a punt. So instead of going forwards, they went backwards.
So UFC wasted a perfectly good opportunity, and they have to give it back to Oregon.
Yeah.
Good idea, but wasted.
Effort. And that was Keon Thibodeau.
Thibodeau gets the sack.
Yep, Thibodeau got the sack.
Once we close this podcast out.
Thibodeau got the sack.
Yep, and Southern Cowboy punt. So, folks, if you're looking for this podcast next week, don't look for it, because you're not going to find one.
Nah. We're taking the Christmas break off. We're taking Christmas break. We're going to be off on Christmas. We're going to be off for the day of and the day after Christmas. But you might look for us on the new year.
So, we're taking 2 weeks.
We're going to take next week off.
So, nothing Christmas Eve, nothing Christmas Day.
Christmas Eve is on the Thursday. We don't ever do nothing on the Thursday.
No. No more Thursday night NFL football either.
No.
Last night was the last one.
Yep.
And thank God for that.
And Monday will be the last Monday Night Football game of the year.
Hallelujah, Hollywood.
Yep.
And this Sunday, I believe, this Sunday I think this Sunday will be the last Sunday Night Football game, won't it?
Probably. Not until January.
Because I think, if my math is right, I believe either NBC or Fox is going to be broadcasting Saints and Vikings on Christmas Day.
Let's see. Christmas Day is on a Friday. Fox.
Yep. I think it's a 3:30 kickoff. I think
it'll be Fox.
Most likely.
Yep. Because Fox also took the Thursday night primetime slot away from NBC after a bunch of crap.
Well, I think most of those packages rotate anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because NBC's got the Sunday night package, so, you know.
Yep. It's second down and 10.
They did carry they did carry kind of the Thanksgiving game, even though it was a few days later.
Yep.
But Joe Buck has been working since the bubble in baseball. He's done that. Now he's got a whole gob of football games. I mean, you want to talk about getting your frequent flyer miles in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And speaking of frequent flyer miles, I want to bring you back from a blast of a pass of a Come On Man, which kind of had Steve Young laughing at Randy Moss and never letting him live this one down. And
speaking of Come On Man, I was in the YouTube wormhole earlier this morning, actually.
Okay.
It's about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, Jesus.
With DJ Steve, yeah. When you have nothing better to do, what's the better option? Go into the YouTube wormhole. And you're probably asking yourself, why was I in the YouTube wormhole? Well, I'm going to tell you. I was in the DJ Steve Porter profile, a.k.a. putting together like some of the awesome stuff, sports-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And what did I come across, speaking of Come On Man? I don't know if you remember this, the 2011 NFL Countdown Sounds of the Season.
Oh, Jesus. How can I forget?
It was a hoot. Especially with Deck the Halls of Angry Coaches. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
John Gruden pulling his hair out. There's enough. There was definitely enough entertainment.
Yes. And like I say, when we say these are oldie but goodie of Come On Mans, this one is a particular hoot because the reason why Steve Young won't let Randy Moss live this one down is because.
Wait, was this the one where Randy Moss kind of went to the wrong spot and he wasn't supposed to?
He went to the wrong Bristol. The plan he got on his son, who plays football for Virginia Tech, told him it was going to be a 1:20 football kickoff at Bristol. What he failed to tell his dad, the Bristol that he had in mind was an hour and 10 minutes away from where they live. Bristol, Tennessee. Not Bristol, Connecticut. Home of the NFL Sunday Football Countdown show. But Charissa said this. Let's take a look at it this way. At least you were early for work.
Well, yeah, he was early for work, but he forgot to see his son play.
He was a day early. The pilot took him on a 700-mile detour to Bristol, Connecticut, not Bristol, Tennessee. Bristol, Tennessee is an hour and 10 minutes away from Charleston, West Virginia.
The Bristol Motor Speedway, where the year that Virginia Tech and Tennessee packed that thing out.
Yes.
Literally. And everybody's like, oh, could this be the new trend of having football games played at racetracks?
Yeah.
It's definitely a possibility. If it wasn't for you-know-what for 2020, we probably could have had another one at Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
With Alabama Southern Cal or somebody like that.
Yep.
We could have had that. We could have had that at Daytona Motor Speedway.
Now this next Come On Man is a very goodie, and it came from week 5 of this season. the Derrick Henry, the Derrick Henry stiff arm saw all around the country. That made Josh Norman look like a little bitch. Speaking of which, that's what came out of the words of Joe Buck that Tuesday night.
You think that stiff arm was great? Oh, I can only imagine what he's going to do Sunday.
Oh no, I can already see it now.
I can only imagine what he's going to do Sunday against that Detroit Lion defense in front. They can't stop the run for nothing. A 240-something pound man coming downhill with a stiff arm and destroying you. And it's like, ah!
Yep. In the words of Chris Bergman, this is gonna what?
No, it's not gonna be. No, it ain't gonna be that. It's going to be a nice, beloved, and talented bulldozer just dump trucking you on your can.
Yeah, and when they come to, they're gonna ask, what was the license plate of the truck that just ran me over?
And oh yeah, besides that, he's gonna laugh while he's running you over.
Yeah. Which is why there's a compilation of Derrick Henry's stiff arms
his head
that you ain't seen.
He's probably laughing hysterically.
Yep. We can put DeForest Buckner, Josh Norman, Earl Thomas II.
Now, I think he abused Josh Norman, though.
Yeah, and poor Josh Norman ain't never let this down. That's the reason why Rich Eisen.
Because he got impaled into the ground, and it took somebody to get him a planter just to get him out of the dirt.
Yep. That's why it was called. If that, folks, was called why it was called the stiff arm heard around the blogosphere.
Oh, there will be more. There will be another stiff arm somewhere against it all heard all around the state of Tennessee and the great state of me.
Yep, you're gonna be on the island all alone.
Because that Detroit Lion defense is flat out trash.
And since knowing this, the Lions are screwed.
By the way, if my math is right, they are third from the bottom, which means they are 30th.
Third from the bottom, they're 29th.
Four from the bottom. Whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, it's still trash.
Yeah.
The Titans should have a field day with their running backs.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't even have to throw the football on Sunday.
Let Derrick Henry run Warsaw over the Lions D. And let's see if they can do something with them.
They shouldn't even have to throw the ball.
Mm-mm.
And
speaking of the Lions D, the captain of the Lions D is none other than former Titan himself, Mr. Spencer Tulloch. Mr. Stephen Tulloch, actually.
Word.
Yep. And Stephen Tulloch has never met Derrick Henry before.
Oh.
He's in for a real surprise.
Up close and personal this Sunday.
Yeah. He's going to be too busy picking his mouthpiece off the ground.
Well, not only that, he's probably going to get stiff-armed out of his jock.
Yeah.
Line one wants his NFL football outfit back.
Yeah.
From 1980.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a lot of YouTube comments about the stiff arm that Derrick Henry gave Josh Norman. One of them was happened to be, I heard somebody had to call the paramedics to the field to pick Josh Norman up off the ground.
Oh yeah, I think it was cops about to arrest him for a 211 highway robbery in progress after he had his dignity stripped from him. He's like, oh. Or the
simple fact. Somebody posted this on YouTube. Hello, 911. Yeah, I like to report a murder. Yeah, Josh Norman's career.
Yeah, like the Sklar brothers on Cheap Seats when they were doing the radio thing, and it's like, my spine, my dignity. Well, I hate to be the bad news. You're running into a 250-pound bull, and not only is that bull angry at you, he's angry at everyone.
He's gonna rip your head off. He's gonna rip his head off, pull his pants down, and crap down your dang throat box.
No, he's gonna rip all of his clothing. He's gonna basically take his jaw, hit him in his nuts, and then after that he's just gonna drop into obscurity.
In other words, by the time he gets through to you, somebody's gonna be a bitch.
Hip slap times 10.
Whack, 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 whack.
And it'll be worse than that.
Ugh. Yeah.
Many probably wonder what number that truck ran him over. Oh, it's nothing.
That's just a 6'3", 247-pound man by the name of Derrick Henry, who's going to be tap dancing down your windpipe and up your urethra.
And if he keeps running the way he's running, if my math is correct, he may get back-to-back rushing championships if he keeps going the way he's going.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's anybody even close to him, yardage-wise.
Yeah.
For the rushing championship. So we could have our first back-to-back rushing champion.
Mm-hmm.
Could.
Yeah. And in other words, the Jacksonville Jaguars decides to bench Mike Glennon for the rest of the season and let Connor Miskew back in as starter.
Connor and all of Jags Nation is singing hallelujah.
Well, it didn't do no good last week when the Titans don't beat the mutton chops off his ass.
Well, keep in mind, the Titans basically had efficient. They had a score.
That's something to do with
after the Cleveland and Bears, and they just took it out on Jacksonville because Jacksonville's everybody's human pincushion.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's been everybody's human pincushion for God knows how long.
Yeah, except for a couple of seasons ago when they won the AFC South with Connor Miskew.
Except running into the New England Patriots and the official kind of, well, even if they would have gave him the touchdown, I think New England still would have found a way to win the game. I mean,
and now once again, Jacksonville's the laughing stock on home with the New England Patriots.
And their general manager gone. I think they're gonna keep him around, but they better find the right GM this time because Shad Khan is not going to be waiting around.
True.
He's got the money to pay off other folks if he needs to.
Yep.
Shad Khan is not going. He's already the owner of All Elite Wrestling, and that brand is thriving just fine.
Yep.
I don't think.
And speaking of professional wrestling, this coming up Sunday is the WWE pay-per-view event TLC.
Basically, after the Hardy Boys and Christian brought it in, they basically kind of worn it. It's basically kind of worn out its welcome.
Yep.
Once the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian did all that defining stuff for TLC, now they're using every December for a TLC pay-per-view, and it's kind of went well.
Yep. And some of the matches
it's kind of lost its luster a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and some of the matches being as follows. It will be Sasha Banks versus Carmella for the women's title on SmackDown.
Oh, God. Help me.
And
I haven't watched a pay-per-view since at least 2000.
Yeah, it'll be on the WWE Network.
I have not watched a pay-per-view since In Your House. That was the last pay-per-view I watched, and I have not watched it since.
Also, it's a tables match. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the Universal title.
What you do? Good for him.
Not so much. Roman Reigns beat him until the man can't walk.
Even though.
Huh? Yeah.
Ooh.
And then it's the Street Profits versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode for the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
Lineup card.
Mm-hmm.
For WWE nerds that actually want to actually watch it.
And this past Monday, we saw Lana get the upset over one half of the women's tag team champions, Nia Jax.
Good.
But the worst part of it is she's going to be out of commission for a while because Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler done broke the woman's leg in 6 places.
Ow.
By stepping on it and twisting it.
Oh. Brutal. Oh.
Lana won't be the same.
Oh.
But the good news is Mandy Rose is back in action. Dana Brooke too.
As Duran says, notorious.
Mm-hmm.
Notoriously evil. Notorious. Wow. How did we stray from that? Oh, never mind.
Yep. It's now time to wrap this up because I got something to do. So we're going to be out for the next 2 weeks.
So I think, actually, one last podcast tomorrow, regular pod.
Yep.
Unless you want to do a regular pod on the 26th.
We're doing it.
We can talk about league news. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to do an after hours on Christmas Eve or New Year's. We will come back with that on January the 8th.
Yeah. And until then, we'll see you next time.
So give you a heads up now.
Yep.
This podcast is taking a 3-week break.
And we'll see you next time.
Christmas Eve, nothing Christmas Eve, nothing New Year's. So we shall see you the second Friday of 2020 on January 8th. And you can find this podcast on
YouTube,
most, if not all, podcast platforms.
Patreon as well.
YouTube.
And Facebook.
iHeartMedia, radio.com.
Podchaser.com.
Podcast on Pandora yet. Not sure yet.
No, Podchaser.com and Spotify. You can download the Spotify app.
Podcasting platforms.
And we'll see you.
It's on Google Play yet.
Oh, it's on Google Play.
Oh, yeah.
It's on Google Play.
Google Play. And on Patreon.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see you guys.
By the way.
And we'll see you guys on January the 8th. Until then, have a prosperous year and fuck 2020.
Be blessed, peeps.